Good morning. We're going to do our tarot study now. Okay, so we are doing deep diving into the Fool. Here we go. There's the original Rider-Waite one. There's the Tarot of Mystical Moments. I'm going to try really hard not to move because it's actually in focus. There's the, that's the Tarot of the Divine. And this is the Wildwood Tarot. This is the Star Tarot. This is the Good Tarot. This is the Wandering Star Tarot. And I may get these like a touch wrong, but I think I got them pretty good right now. I'm kind of proud of myself. This is the Light Seers Tarot. And then today we are adding one more. I almost forgot I had this one. This is the art, there it is. This is from the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, and this is what it looks like. So you can see all the gold, shimmer, 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 shimmer. And let's see, I want to see how he definitely has, it's a little bit more detailed. A little bit more just defined and refined. All right, so let me show you. There's the difference between the original Rider-Waite and this Art Nouveau, Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. And the other thing is it doesn't have the Fool written on the bottom of the other one. So see, there's no Fool, it's just a 0. And I don't know how I like that because they have the number 2 different places. So why not do little tiny, you have the 0 here. So why not in that space, just write in small lettering. If you wanted to keep it simple, just do little tiny gold letters, the Fool. So that's my only real critique there. It's pretty. He's pretty. And his little dog's pretty. So anyway, and it looks like the dog there, this one, the dog looks even more like he's trying to stop, grab his little tunic, don't do it. Don't do it. Watch out. You're on the edge. Doesn't it? It looks more, a little bit more of a protector. This one's like, what you doing, dummy? There's no in there. And look at the waves there compared to there. There's no waves. You're way up in the mountains there. This is like you're walking out into the crashing ocean. So that's interesting too. So anyway, we study the different cards to look at all the different interpretations to come up with our own stories. So there's that. There's our Fool card of the day, and then our reading of the day is coming from Tarot for Change by Jessica Dore. I don't know if I'm or Dore. Oh. Okay, and then I like her Fool. I don't know if she's got her own card or this is just for the book. But there's her Fool. Look at her in her little kimono and looking so cute. Oh, and then we're gonna read this real quick. It's not super long, but it is not super short either. It's just a couple pages. So let's dive in. There's good spacing. So there's an old story from Seneca. Indigenous people of the central and western region of what is now called New York State, in which a witch throws a group of men into an ice house and hopes they'll die inside. Wow. But in mythologist Martin Shaw's telling of the story, the men don't die because the protagonist in the tale gives the other men this warning: whatever you do, don't sit down on the ice chairs. So the men dance and sing instead of sitting down. With the heat that their bodies generate, the walls, the hard walls of the ice house start to melt. A patch of the sky pokes through the ice house ceiling. Eventually, the sun appears, and with it, the possibility of living to see another day. I'm sorry, but if you sit your ass down in an ice chair and you don't hop up when your butt starts sticking to it. Okay, sorry. Carry on. Dancing is a bit of a fool's task. You have to get out from beneath the structure of ideas about what's orderly. You have to get okay with looking silly and being misunderstood. Amen. In the study of how people behave, rule-governed behavior is a term for action that's taken not because it is the best or right thing to do in a given situation, but because a person has begun to do it automatically based on things like social reinforcement, avoidance of discomfort, or a need to feel good all the time. Rules help us create structure in our lives, but sometimes rules, when followed without question, become like ice houses that trap and freeze us inside for too long. We get numb to the naturally occurring contingencies of life that demand flexibility. We're in the ice house anytime we say, this is how it's done, and this is how it's always been done, and never mind the fact that it's hurtful, life-limiting, and oppressive, or simply doesn't work anymore. Hey, I like that. I like this so much. I listened to this on audio a long time ago, but I don't remember anything. Studies shown that rigid psychological rules contribute to mental health issues. For example, if you have a rule you can consume only a certain number of calories each day, that rule can lead to compensatory and sometimes destructive behavior when that limit has been exceeded. Or if you have a rule that says being sad is bad and therefore should be avoided at all costs, you might use alcohol, sex, drugs, or shopping to numb any and all feelings of melancholy. Many spiritual and religious traditions teach aspirants to always be kind to strangers, misfits, and outcasts because they may be gods in disguise. Myths and old stories reveal a link between the fool, a misfit, and a rule maker, and wisdom and holiness. Though many knights sought hard after the Holy Grail, it was Percival who began as a wannabe riding a donkey and wearing an ill-fitting uniform who found it. Latvian poet Robert Avens wrote that gestures in the old stories symbolize imagination, a capacity to see through the emperor's clothes, to melt an ice house that would otherwise be intolerable in its sheer and uninterrupted pomposity. I'm probably butchering a lot of these words, and I apologize. However, I am enjoying this. In Aleister Crowley and Lady Frida Harris's Thor Tarot, the Fool is illustrated as the pagan mythological green man, the personification of springtime. I don't have that. I don't have the Thoth Tarot, but I do want that. It's on my wish list. If you want to send me a gift. He is the one with the courage to break through the frozen ground of winter when the time comes for flowers, to challenge the structure of the day in service of new life. As David Steindl-Rast wrote, through life, over and over again, creates structures. Structures do not create life. Though life over and over again creates structures, structures do not create life. Change at any level, the personal, rational, cultural, systematic, requires two things. That may be courageous enough to dance weirdly in the frozen spaces, that we be willing to feel whatever angst or uncertainty that brings. I want to give a charm here for any aspiring fools and hopeful walkers of the weird, rule-breaking way. The job of rules is to manage. They serve a function of control. In a community, rules control the social climate. In an individual, rules control the internal environment, which includes thoughts, feelings, and sensations. So when you break a rule, expect to be met by a wild chorus of thoughts, feelings, and sensations that the ice house walls were doing a great job of keeping out. Know this when you start dancing, and you'll be better equipped for what comes next. I love that. And I think it goes well, again, with today's reading, where we were talking about changing our thoughts and thought patterns on the day-to-day task and chores and work and all the things. So this is perfect for that. We are melting our own ice houses by changing our own thought patterns. I really like that. Amen, and so it is. Thank you so much for joining me in all this. I love learning, and I love learning with you even more. So I appreciate you. See you tomorrow.